Don't worry about stealing gas, because we'll just siphon again and then put it in someone else's car.
I got a shirt in the van. The day's off the shirt. You got a boot print on it. It won't come off.
We might listen.
Close enough.
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, man. Episode 3, I guess.
We're on.
We're on.
We're on.
With,
And we
with
have-
Anela.
We have Anela from Anela and the Early Hours. The very
Yes.
same.
Wow,
What's
thanks.
up, Anela?
Thanks for having me.
Anela,
Thank you for calling me. I'm going crazy.
I think we
I have
all
so many
are.
questions.
I mean, I'm
Anela, you had
fortunate. Sorry?
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I'm like fortunate enough that I'm able to go outside and work at Starbucks still. So I am kind of interacting with people.
Right. Right.
Well,
But-
I wanted to ask you about that because you had a pretty you were pretty publicly displeased with people coming to Starbucks to get coffee last week.
Yeah, no, that first week when everything was like going down and like when it was like really blowing off, I was not having it because I don't know, I was taking it pretty seriously. Like my dad lost his job because he works at a hotel. My brother does film, so everything is like canceled for him. And my mom works in Toronto, so I'm like pretty concerned about my family. So I
Right.
thought that maybe everyone's like going through the same thing. But no, like customers are still coming in as if like nothing was going on. And I'm like what? And like
Yeah.
kids, because it was like March break, like they were coming out and like ordering drinks. I'm like, what part of stay at home do you like not understand?
People are gonna
Yeah.
lose their minds if they don't get their extra tall mocha frappe. You know.
No, they're gonna lose their mind. Like it's honestly, Starbucks is an essential apparently.
Apparently so. Yeah. Well, it's funny to see
It is.
what kind of services have been essential too. Because I mean, I work at a factory. And like we were all kind of hoping that we were going to be in that essential list because we all wanted to keep making money. But like we make a plastic pipe for irrigation on farms. So like we're all kind of categorized under manufacturing and agriculture. So like we're double whammy. Like we got to be in there, you know. But I'm surprised that Starbucks, you know, like McDonald's is open.
Yeah.
You know, like if Blockbuster was still around, that shit would still be going. You know, like
I don't
everything.
know. Yeah, but the thing is, like, we don't have to work. Like, people are like, there's a lot of Starbucks that are closed just because their employees don't want to work. The
Right.
thing is, they raised our wages, so it's a little bit hard to
Nice.
say no.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least
so.
you're getting paid more.
Well, and I was hearing that they were considering not taxing the essential workers or whatever, which I think
Ooh.
would be cool. But isn't that won't that like fuck everyone at tax season? You know, it'll be
Probably,
like-
yeah. Like next year, they'd be like, "Hey, you guys actually owe us like a bunch of money."
Yeah, now that everything's cool and we've got all
Yeah.
the zombies hooked up to chains now, like now you got to pay it all back.
Exactly.
Fuck, man, I'm not looking forward to what the aftermath of this all is.
Yeah, for real.
Taxes.
Taxes. I tried to do my taxes today, and I think even like H&R Block and like the CRA and everything, they're all like basically down. It's insane.
Yeah, well, I think they moved it to like I don't remember, like June
Yeah,
or something.
they pushed the date that you have to be filed to June 1st, but now I'm like, well, I'm gonna have no money. Hopefully, I have a return, so I'd like to just file it now and get my money.
Yeah.
You know, but
You know what is dope, Craig? I know it doesn't make a difference to you, but student loans are on hold.
Yes.
No interest or anything till September.
Yes.
No
The
student
end of
loans.
September.
I got
Yeah,
the
you don't have to pay 'em
email.
back.
And
And they
man,
don't even. It doesn't even accrue any interest or anything.
What a
No
time to be
interest, so
alive.
So that's pretty dope. Yeah, that's dope. I was just about to start paying them more too monthly, and then they were like, "No, don't pay us at all."
I heard that even if you call your credit card companies or your banks and you have interest, like you can call them and they'll refund it for the past month. That's what I was told by a friend of mine.
Really
Who knows if that's
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
We should just cancel
That's pretty wild.
everything. Like the year's canceled.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man, I
2020
made
is
plans
canceled.
and stuff.
Well, I was.
Fuck,
I mean,
man.
my landlord's pretty cool, but I was like, I'm not even gonna message and be like, so like, don't have to pay rent this month, or like, what's the deal?
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't want to get into those headaches, like, because like you're still gonna have to pay it. So then it's
Yeah.
like, what? I gotta pay you like $2,000 next month or
Yeah,
whatever. when this
double at
thing-
the end of April. What's the deal?
Yeah. It's like I'll just do it now. It's all good.
Yeah, like this like throws off everybody's routines. Like it kind of threw me off.
Oh, 100%.
I think that's why like the coffee shops, people are still going because it's like that one last thing they can hold on to.
Yeah, the one bit of
like-
reality that they have left.
Yeah. Well, that's like I was saying earlier this week. I was telling Craig like my parents like always go to Tim Hortons or whatever in town, but it's just like because we live so like out of town, it's just an excuse to like get out of the house and like
Yeah, to
I'm going
socialize.
to get a coffee. Like, do you guys need anything? And it's just like, it's just a reason to leave. I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of their deal.
Oh, for sure. I
It's
was
a small
saying,
town deal.
yesterday that like I went to a grocery shop a few days ago, and I was like, you know what? I'll just drive across town to the weed store, even if they're not open. Like I went to like the furthest possible one for the big drive, and then I got there, they were closed. I was like, I'm not even upset. I got to go on this nice scenic drive, and by scenic I mean
I've been up
drive
to,
by
like-
all the gas stations.
Yeah.
I thought
Wow, it's
dispensaries
cool.
were
Gas is so
essential.
cheap.
They are. No, they totally are, but
No.
they cut their hours, so they're closed
Oh.
at like 6 o'clock and shit like that now.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
the liquor store today, and there's a line outside because only 10 people are allowed in the store.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's the
That's
main reason why I just
crazy.
haven't gone.
Honestly, like I'm not
I don't
even
wanna
gonna
have to
drink.
wait.
It's fine.
Oh, I have been drinking. You'll see this video later. Because the last two videos I've been riding my Ryan Coke train, and I've got a glass or whatever. I've switched to my nice party cup, so it doesn't incriminate me as to
Nice.
how many times I refill it. No one will know. It's been one continuous
God.
drink this whole time.
So is that what you're drinking right now? I'm
I'm
drinking
drinking
water.
Ryan Cokes. Ryan Cokes all day. I made the mistake because I've been doing those live streams. I was actually just watching Serena Haggerty's live stream a minute ago, and I did one of those live streams the other day, and like at 11 o'clock the night before, I was like, oh, I should probably start drinking water. Like I've literally been drinking Ryan Coke for like a week, like starting at like 11 a.m. It's like why not start now? And then I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably hydrate before I have to sing on a live stream for like 2 hours.
And then like the
Nah.
audio's shoddy and it didn't matter anyway. You're
The
like,
quality is
dude.
gonna get messed up anyways, because the internet is a thing.
I
and,
played it back, and it sounded okay. It sounded pretty good.
No, the one you did the other day did sound good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and that was just a
It,
phone. I didn't have a microphone set up or anything like that.
Yeah, it's all gonna clip anyways.
Shit.
Yeah, well, I saw you've been putting up some YouTube or some Instagram covers today. You were taking some
yeah.
requests and everything. Oh, that's cool. Like, I mean, everyone's kind of on that live stream train, so I mean, like, it'd be kind of interesting to see like what are you planning on doing for this digital age of covers and live streams and everything.
I'm just gonna do like those stupid videos, and I don't know, because I've been for like months now. It's been my goal to spend more time at home and like not going out, and I've been like failing miserably. For some reason, I always have to end up going out and going somewhere that I feel obligated to be. And honestly, like this
Right.
whole Corona thing came conveniently because now I don't have to be anywhere.
No, everyone's pretty well homebound.
And it's great because I can reach out to people without feeling the obligation to be like, hey, we should hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I miss
great.
canceling
We cannot hang
plans
out.
a lot. I really do. Oh yeah, I'm on my way, and I'm like putting my pants on, like getting the
Yeah.
bean dip off my shirt.
Yeah, see, like, I hate canceling on people, and, like, I also hate not accepting when people want to hang out with me. There's only so much I can delay it before I actually have to go. But now
Right.
I'm just like, you can call me, I'll be in my pajamas. And I'm like, great. Yeah. And the people that I
So
hang
do you
out with
think-
are my coworkers at work, and I'm getting paid premium.
Yeah, I feel like we're all getting to know your coworkers the past few days. You've been putting up these Instagram
I do
videos,
appreciate the
like positive
yeah.
facts about your coworkers.
Yeah,
employee
'cause-
appreciation.
Yeah, that one week where I was just so negative and I was like super pissed off, and the following week I'm like, you know what? They're like, it's not so bad. It's not so bad when you have good people around you, and like I shouldn't forget about that.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's funny to hear that, because I mean I work in a factory, right, which like all of our pastimes are just bitching about things. You know, like one machine isn't working the way it's supposed to, or like I mean the common one with all tradespeople is like people just bitching about the government all the time. So it's like it's kind of nice to. I mean, right now everyone's trying to be positive, and they're just like, yeah, I mean, like we'll see what happens. You know, everyone's so hopeful all of a sudden.
It's like, wow, this is weird. You're being
Yeah, I know. It's like,
positive? Since
what?
when?
Wow, Gary's actually stoked for once. That's pretty interesting.
Gary's not bitching about his wife. Wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. My fucking wife, you know? No, you don't get any of that right now. It's more like, yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
we'll all just hope for the best, which is great. I'm loving it. I'm loving that people are trying to be positive right now.
Oh, that's nice that your coworkers like, let's hope for the best. Because my mindset, oh man, like I'm trying to keep things positive, but I've lost faith in humanity. Like,
Yeah.
I've lost
man.
my like.
What's the-
If everything goes down, I'm just like, you know what? I saw it happen. Like, I saw it coming. People are pretty bad. Like,
I know it's just
People
gonna
are
say
generally
I told
not
us so as the world is burning. What's like the worst thing that you've seen, like either personally or just like on the internet or something in this whole thing, like that has just annoyed you to your core?
yeah, but
You can take that,
Craig?
Anela. Oh, I mean, like I've seen just like photo sets on Facebook. That's the main one. Like people covered in garbage bags trying to go buy toilet paper. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. I don't know. I haven't really been out in the public, so I haven't really seen anything that crazy.
Yeah, Nella, what have you seen? I'm sure you're on the Starbucks front line, so I'm sure you've seen some
That's
pretty
yeah,
ridiculous
that's what I'm
shit.
saying.
I feel like no one's really being well, there's this one customer that's like, I don't know, we get like a mixed bag of customers that are like, make sure you have gloves on, make sure you don't have gloves on, and like the ones that give us cash and I'm like, oh, here's your change, and they're like, no, and I'm like, so it's okay for you
they
to
don't
give
want
us
to touch
cash?
the cash.
Yeah, but it's not okay if we give them cash. Like, what the hell, man? Like, that's, I don't know. It's just discouraging. I remember these guys' faces. Like, if they come back, I'm just like, fuck you guys. There are people that are like, oh, Starbucks is essential. Like, these chains are, like, coffees are essential. I'm like, dude, you can make your coffee at home. That's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
They're
know.
Way
They just,
cheaper.
I don't know if they're like kidding when they say that. They look pretty like sincere.
Pretty sincere, yeah. Well, we've been making the joke on the past couple shows where it's like I've got a Tim Hortons right across the street from me, and I haven't gone in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I'm not going to Tim Hortons because I feel like Anela will know.
Yeah,
Like I'll go in there and I'll be like, can I
no.
get, like I'll go in and I'll just like whisper, I'll be like, can I get like a large regular, please? Yeah. And I'll be
And
like looking over my shoulder, and you'll just be there like arms crossed, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm
And you
just
take-
here to break a 5, I swear.
Oh, and you take like a photo of yourself online, and I'm like, is that a Tim Hortons cup?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to like somehow get a Starbucks cup and just start this off by being like, hey Anela, I'm just enjoying a tall blonde real quick. How's it going?
It's so funny because like, I don't know, I'm not really one to share about my deep opinions on like Instagram or whatever, but ever since like that whole week where I was pretty pissed off, people have been like messaging me. They're like, look, I made coffee at home. And I was about to go to McDonald's, but I decided not to because I thought of you, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, bravo. What an
Thank
altruistic
you.
act that is.
Thank you for
Yeah.
thinking about me,
I've been-
Craig.
I feel
Absolutely.
like I'm gonna have like a really big McDonald's bill after this because like twice a day Julia asks me if we can go to McDonald's. I'm like, no, we're not going. We're not gonna be one of those people. I'm like, the second this is over, I'll get you McDonald's.
Yeah, it's
And
like
it's
the
been 2
complete
weeks
opposite
now.
at McDonald's right now, where like the you know, at the grocery stores the toilet paper's gone and all the eggs are gone, but there's just like a huge overabundance of nuggies over at McDonald's right now.
Yeah.
Just so many
It'd be sick to
junior
work
chickens
there, though,
just
'cause
going
you
cold.
Yeah.
You know what? When all of this is over, or when I see you guys, I will, because I get like a free pound of coffee or tea at work every week. So I've already given Caleb like a pound. You know what, Craig? The next one goes to you. You know, I just kind of
I
hoard
will-
them.
Oh, I will gladly take a pound of coffee, 100%. I've gotten really good at making coffee because I'm one of those people that I will buy my coffee every morning. I'll get one. Like someone will go for a run in the middle of the day, and I'm like, oh, please get me a regular, please God. But now I've actually had to learn how to make my coffee again.
Wow. Oh my God.
I know, yeah. And
Post it
it's-
on Instagram and hashtag make your coffee. I don't know. Whatever that
Oh, I will, for
hashtag
sure,
is.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then tag me. Oh my
Gotta
God.
at you, yeah. You gotta drop your Instagram handle in here.
Oh,
I
God.
normally like
Dude, there's
don't
gotta be,
care about people tagging me, but for some reason, like people are tagging me now, and I'm like, this is gonna be my brand.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Dude,
make your
that's,
coffee at home. You gotta write a song about it.
Yeah,
new
make your
new early
co-
hours merch for sure.
Oh, this is gonna
Yeah.
be my brand for like this whole Corona season. Make your coffee at home. That's,
Next-
oh God, this is
Next
ridiculous.
album's called Homebrew.
Oh yeah, that's great. Me, you, and my
You get
homebrew.
shirts made up. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you could make like you should be like making how-to videos and stuff on your Instagrams. of,
Yeah,
like,
for sure. You
how
gotta do like
make
a how-to
coffee.
on how to make a tall blonde and like a mocha
Yeah.
frap.
Oh,
Everything.
Anela, you're missing out on the content here. This is gold content.
Oh,
It is 100%.
okay.
This is
I'm-
how
I'm
you.
writing this down.
You said you
Where's-
felt weird about promoting your
down.
music in this time.
Mental
this is
note.
the perfect way to promote the band
You know
because
what?
you're being
Like,
helpful, and then people are gonna listen to your music afterwards.
that's what I feel like. I'm not taking advantage of this like thing as much as like other people are, because everyone's doing like live streams and then they're posting this and that, and I'm just like, not gonna lie, I kind of just want to take a step back and just like chill and do something that isn't really work.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Well,
I don't
think
know.
like
Well, that's
it's a
like
lot
if
of
you
people
if you
like if you had fans, like you'd probably feel. I mean, sorry. I mean, I know you have fans, but I mean like the bands that like have like hundreds or thousands of people that are like that love them.
Right.
Like you can kind of take advantage of that, where it's like, oh, there's like 8 people that might give a fuck if I do a live stream or whatever. At least speaking for myself, like maybe
Well,
don't worry
right,
about
yeah.
it. Think about something else that you could do that's more fun.
I mean,
if
know,
you're Craig,
Texas King
and you got
and Serena have all been doing live streams, like daily live streams. And I mean, you'll check in on those, and there's like 50 people watching at a time.
yeah,
You know, and I mean,
yeah.
those are always a revolving door. So it's like, I mean, who knows? Like hundreds of people are probably tuning in. And I mean, like they're really active musicians, like as well. I mean, in London, but I mean, they're not Metallica, but they're still getting like a big following on these streams. So I mean, like it's like all these people that think, oh well, like no one's really gonna give a shit. I mean, they kind of have to. They're all sitting at home. They've got nothing better to do. Like, why not do a stream? They're probably gonna watch.
That's
And
why
maybe
we're
this too.
podcasting.
Hopefully they'll watch the podcast.
We gotta start putting these out. Yeah.
They will. My coworkers will definitely will. I haven't even seen
Yeah,
my
100%.
band in
Anela's-
like 2 weeks. Ugh, I'm so.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't
know.
seen Lore, our drummer for Heart Attack Kids, in months because I mean she lives in Halifax, but I mean now the hopes of seeing her are pretty slim and none for a while.
Oh, she lives in Halifax?
She lives in Halifax. Yeah, we're basically an internet band until we go on tour, and now that's kind of null and void for a while.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, we did a video call the other day because I mean we're all sitting at home, and we did a call and it was like, yeah, well I'll try to write some stuff in the meantime. It's like, yeah, for sure. And then we did another call about 2 days later, and Laura and I had just completely lost all hope. It was like, so what lyrics does everyone have on the table kind of thing? And Laura and I were both just like, we're losing our minds, we're tearing our hair out, we got nothing to do, and we got no money. So we're basically like we have content in the bank But I mean, we wanted to, like, we got singles that we wanted to promote with shows and stuff, and now we're just kind of waiting this out.
Yeah.
For when we can kind of put it out at a more opportune time. But I mean, I saw a post the other day, and I'm sure you guys can all weigh in because I mean you've all kind of got either fresh content or stuff on the way. Like there's gonna be when everyone's like, oh yeah, well we're definitely gonna be able to do events in September or whatever. There's gonna be this huge boom of like, here's our EP, here's our single, we've got a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think it's gonna like? Is it gonna kind of cripple the economy of shows? What do you think's gonna happen?
It might be like, well, I mean, some bands will benefit from that because it won't matter because people have to probably start prioritizing what they want to do. That's because that's what I've been thinking about. Of like, should I like try to be booking shows for like the fall?
Yeah.
But then like everybody's trying to reschedule right now, and we didn't have anything booked really, and yeah, so it's like maybe this is just not going to be the year of shows for Lost Arts like we were hoping, but
Yeah,
there's lots of stuff that we can do behind the scenes to maybe when stuff sort of levels out at the end of the year, hopefully.
Yeah.
And maybe 2021 will be a normal year, and then maybe that's the time. Because like personally for us, like we were also just wanted to go and record a bunch, and maybe that'll be the deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's gonna be the same. I don't know what everyone's thinking with this whole thing because I'm like I'm pretty paranoid, and going back to doing shows again and just going to concerts and being in like a public place with a lot of people is just not gonna be the same. Because in my head, like in everyone's heads, they're just gonna be like, stay 6 feet away from me. Like imagine moshing again after this whole thing.
Oh, I've never been a mosher. Never been a mosher.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't hurt me. I will bruise. Seriously.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I had my time in moshing, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I'm okay with being super close to people, but like I don't know how it's gonna be.
Right.
I
But it's
don't
more
know.
like the oversaturation of shows. Like that's what I'm thinking about right now, where it's like they're gonna be like, yeah, you can definitely we can have gatherings of how many ever people in September, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like there's a show every day of the week at Call the Office, and it's all locals. Like, is that what's going to happen?
Yeah. I don't want the stress of a Runner show at that time.
Yeah.
It's
It's
trying
going
to
be
sell
like
tickets and
all we have are Tuesday slots open because everyone's taking all the good ones.
And it's like and sell fucking 30 tickets at least, please. You're like, but everybody's playing a show though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're just crippled because you're like, I'll buy a ticket to your show if you buy a ticket to my show, and then you spent like fucking $200 ticket swapping or whatever.
Yeah, so we should be saving money right now.
Yeah.
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Saving money.
It's
What
weird
money though? Like who's? I guess. I mean, you're back at Starbucks. I'm back at the factory for the time being, but I've been very fearful of the total shutdown. Mm-hmm. Very fearful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
not
the
cool.
States right now is completely fucked.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad we're here.
Sure.
That we're living here. And Trump is not our
for sure.
president, but yeah. It kind of sucks because like we had all these plans of recording and going in the studio because we've been writing, and we have like a good collection of songs, and we're like ready to do like demos or actually like record and do stuff in the studio, but now it's gonna get pushed back.
Yeah.
It feels weird right now because I was like getting really caught up because we just put that single out at the start of March, and so I was just like, and like it actually was like we were getting followers and stuff from the things we were doing, so I like not proud of it, but I was getting like really obsessed with like growing and stuff, and then it was like full stop. And I'm like, well, great. Now what?
Yeah,
and
totally.
but I think it's honest. Probably for my mental health, it's probably a good thing because it's not really a concern right now because there's nothing that we can really do
Right.
in terms of
Yeah,
that.
and
But
that's. I mean, we were saying it
it's
the other
weird.
day. Is like you got to kind of keep in mind that it's like it's not just us. Like you don't want to stress out and be
Yeah.
like, oh, like my band is on hold and I got to stress out. It's like everyone's band is on hold,
Yeah.
so don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it too much.
Yeah, that's the thing too. With just like kind of like taking it easy for now while everything the entire year is pretty much canceled. And like the thing that's just been like in my face is obviously all these other bands that are like posting content after content, and I'm just looking, I'm like not doing anything. So I guess just being mindful that yeah, they're doing that, but you're also allowed to also do nothing.
Oh, for sure. For sure. No one should be afraid to just kind of sit back. I'm really guilty of, I mean, if I don't have a routine or like something to do, I will just be stagnant. Like the first week of everything being shut down, I think I watched like 4 days worth of Good Mythical Morning. Like that Lincoln Rhett. I was like, fuck it. I'll watch the exotic chip test again.
They're so good,
you know?
though.
But it's like,
they're so good.
It's so great. I've watched so much of it. And
Dude, you ever started at the beginning of Rhett and Link? Dude, you got to go all the way back to the start and watch all of it.
I started at the beginning. Actually, Rhett and Link, if you're watching, has inspired me to buy my first bottle of siracha. So thank you to Rhett and Link for opening. I had never owned a bottle of sriracha before.
Oh my god, Craig.
Before watching, and I was like, I mean, I'd been watching Hot Ones too, and I was like, I was envious of people being able to handle these insane spices. I'm like, maybe I could do it.
Man.
And then I bought my first bottle of sriracha, and I was like, no fucking way. I would get to that that middle point on Hot Ones, and I would be crying.
Dude,
Just losing my mind.
that's the level of fame I would like to get to, is just to be able to do that show. That's all
do
I
Hot
want
Ones?
out of life.
That's pretty high
Yeah, that's
caliber
pretty
at this
high.
point.
That's the driving force.
Yeah, it's not a very humble goal.
Didn't like DJ Khaled?
I just want to do the show, okay? I just want to do the show.
Yeah,
God.
I would love to do an actual talk show, like a Letterman or something like that, or fucking.
I want to do Hot Ones.
You want to do
and
Hot
only
Ones?
Hot Ones.
Oh
Dude,
man,
I don't care about being on Conan, man.
Sean
Who cares?
Evans,
You get
big shout out
you
to
get
Sean
30
Evans.
You get 30 seconds. I want to go hang out for 2 hours and eat hot wings.
Yeah, for sure. You don't even need to
kidding?
give me the 30 seconds. That's
Yeah.
probably like my determining factor on whether you're cool or not on Hot Ones is if they use the actual plug or not. You know, I think that's always really cool when they're just like, all right, man, you conquered all 10 wings up, 10 wings down. You did a great job. Your mouth's on fire. This camera. So the floor is yours. And then they're just like, man, that was spicy shit. Like, I think that's the coolest thing ever. When they're not like, yeah, I got a thing out on Netflix and I got this album out. I think it's really cool when they just blow it and they're just like, man, that was spicy. And that's the whole thing. Like Chris D'Elia did a really cool one where I don't think he plugged anything, and then he was just like, by the way, here's my cell phone number. He just gave his cell phone number out to like probably 50 million people.
Yeah, man, what a great show.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
when
on
all
the
of this
show,
is
Buff One's
over,
fine.
hey, maybe we should all get together and do our own
Hot
Wings.
Ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Dude,
feel
I
like
did
every
one.
band ever has thought like, yeah, we'll do a band Hot Ones.
No, but
and
only
I've
us
really wanted to do it
three.
too. The three of us? Oh, I'm down for sure.
Craig,
Anyone
did
that's
you
watching this, look out.
We did episode 10 of We Should Jam Sometime as a Hot Ones like remake.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You ever watched that one? Yeah.
the Babe
Drake
Cave.
Drake like has Drake has bought a bunch of the sauces that have been on that show.
The actual Hot Ones brands. Oh, like just and even the
Yeah.
off-brand ones.
Well, if you just go to that website, heatonist.com or whatever, new sponsor,
Right.
all of them are there. They sell all of them. But Honest Heart Collective, one of their sauces they have a hot sauce and it was on there.
Who? Honest Hearts Collective?
Yeah, man.
Holy shit, I didn't know they have a hot sauce. I love that band.
Right now, but it was on like a previous season if it's not.
Wow.
Like,
Holy shit.
and
It was
it's like
on
one of the,
Hot
like,
Ones?
Yeah, man. Look at
Oh
that.
my god. Wow. I'm
fucking see if I can
Googling
find
this
it.
right now. I'm going full
Okay.
Jamie. I wanna see this.
Go
You're
ahead.
gonna hear the tapping.
That's also. I want to do that too. I want to have a hot sauce. I want to get to that level too, where we make.
Yeah,
I mean, we could just do that now. I guess.
I feel
but,
like I wouldn't be one of those craft beer bands. It'd be more like like a hot sauce or some shit like that. I forget we wanted to do when I was in Radio Caroline, we wanted to do Radio Caro wine really bad. We wanted to do like a red and a white.
That would have been great.
Ooh.
Oh my god, yeah, they really
Yeah,
do.
man.
Limited edition North American Dream.
Wow.
You can get it on on Honest Hearts Collective's website.
Season 6.
It was on season 6. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
huge shout out to Honest Hearts Collective for breaking
you
through
go.
to the other side. Jesus. That's like
you go.
genuine celebrity to me. And like the first time I met those guys I was playing with Basic White. We did a street festival in Guelph. And they were like the nicest
Right.
guys. And I hadn't heard of them before at all or listened to any of the recordings. And I heard their cover of Helter Skelter, and it blew me away. Like I was like, usually when someone does a Beatles cover, like I'm not one of the person that'll scoff at that. I love the Beatles and I love hearing Beatles covers. And they blew me away with that cover. And I was like, I'm gonna look them up. And I fell in love with all their albums. But the funny thing was when I came back to London, I was like, man, like I discovered this new band called Honest Heart Collective, and literally everyone had the exact same answer every time. They're like, oh yeah, those guys are like best friends with Texas King.
Yeah.
Like every single time. That was the answer. It's like, oh yeah, they're like best friends with Texas King. And they said the same thing. We were like, oh yeah, we're from London. They're like, oh, you guys know Texas King? We're like best friends with those guys. And it was just funny because it was like every time it was like a fucking comedy special or some shit. Like they were just like, oh yeah, those guys are best friends with Texas King. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know that. But no disrespect to either band. Shout out to Texas King and Honest Heart Collective. We love you. We love you both. I had a funny one during the Juno Fest. We Texas King and Basic White were on the same bill, and we were supposed to play very last, like right after Tokyo Police Club, which sounds awesome, but like we were more like the after party band. So it was way less hype than it looked like on the internet. But we were outside. Just getting ready before we were gonna go on. Like I think Tokyo Police Club were on, and Jordan from Texas King was downstairs, and they were passing around a joint or whatever. And it got to me, and I was like, no thanks, because we're about to go play. And Jordan just goes like, oh, you don't smoke weed, man? And I was like, oh, like I do or whatever. And he, like not before I play. And he just goes like, oh, for someone that doesn't smoke weed, you sure look like you do. And for some reason, like it genuinely gave me a feeling of peer pressure, and I fucking smoked weed before I went on stage, and it screwed up my whole set. It ruined it. I was like thinking about where I was gonna stand and stuff. Like it just ruined my set.
You gave in. Oh.
So I gave in to peer pressure, and I smoked. I did it. I did the drugs.
Oh no, you did the drugs before the show. You broke
before the show, and I mean, like I'll always have like a beer or two before I go on, or whatever. I'll have my regiment, but I mean, like I'll try not to smoke pot before I'll go out, because it just makes me so spacey and like tired and sluggish, and it definitely like coats my throat in like the worst possible way.
100%. And then it hits you and like, yep,
But
done.
yeah. Yeah, I'll wind up, I'll be like halfway through a song and I'm like, oh, I haven't looked off the floor for like 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
You know?
Oh, I remember this one time in college where I'm like, because everyone seems to be like, oh, getting high while writing. I'm like, oh, maybe I should try to do that. So I got like super high, and then I started to like play my guitar. And like, I shit you not, first 2 chords, I started crying.
You started crying. Why? And why was that? Why would you start crying?
The chord just hit me.
Oh, like you were so
Yeah.
deeply touched by what you were playing.
Yes.
You were like, this is beautiful.
I haven't even I didn't sing anything. I literally played a chord, and I was like, whoa, this feels so. I just started crying.
What chord was it?
I don't
What chord? Do you
know.
remember what it was?
Probably some major 7 or minor
Oh,
7.
dude,
It's like
those
one
are
of those
good chords.
7s. It's
Wow.
just like the that-
A minor 7 will touch me in ways that a woman never could.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I remember crying, and I'm like, yeah, this is never gonna happen again.
Did it happen
No.
again?
No.
Every single day.
No.
I feel like I've had that happen, but it was not with weed. It's
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, maybe. I can't say for sure, but I mean, I don't think I've ever. had that. I mean, like maybe you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Yeah. That's for
But I
after
mean,
the-
like I don't think
after the
I've had
recording.
I don't think I've had that experience before. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never cried.
Do you guys? How often do you guys write sober?
All the
Right,
time.
sober most of the time.
Okay.
You know,
Most of the
I
time,
have
for
this thing
sure.
like in high school. I would hate it. I like never really smoked weed or anything in high school. A lot like my friends all did or whatever. But it was because I would fucking hate it when they'd be like, I need to like, you know, to like be creative or whatever, man. Like I just gotta like, you just gotta smoke some weed. And I always hated that. I was like, just fucking be creative. Like you don't, if you need a tool
for
like
sure.
that to like, if you can't be creative unless you're gonna smoke weed or do whatever, then like fuck off. Like you should be
Yeah.
able to be
No,
creative
and-
without the aid of being creative.
Yeah, I can definitely. Most of the time, I would say I can write, or I will write when I'm just sober. It's usually late at night.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say if anything, like the most creative spark for writing would be like just having a bit of alcohol. That's probably the best one. If anything, if you would say that's good, you know, like
Right.
that would be the one that kind of if I have like a drink or two in me, it'll be more likely that I'll write something on that after than if I have smoked weed or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't. It's not to say that like if you do that, then like I don't know, like fuck you. Like there's definitely times where you like could get high or whatever, and then create something beautiful. But I just never liked the like the idea of like I have to do this thing in order to get that result. You know?
I've always hated that. I think I read an article about Tame Impala basically saying that he was like, yeah, like weed is the way to write good music, and I was like, fuck off. Tame Impala. I don't even know what his actual fucking name is. But you know what? That's
Kevin.
my. We've been shitting on at least one celebrity or business in every
Yeah.
podcast, and that's the one. Fuck you, Tame Impala. Fuck you.
And just so Anela knows, Subway is where the Corona lives, and I just want to make sure that
Yes.
we get our one in.
Subway.
It's where if you want COVID-19, you gotta go into Subway and order a sandwich and touch all the glass, touch it all, and then pay with cash and then scoop all the change out of that little fucking tray. That's where it is. It's in the tray. That's where the COVID-19 is.
Oh, could you? Oh, that's so
Fucking
gross.
Subway. It's disgusting.
Subway even
And I
open?
only thought of it. Oh yeah, it's open. I drove by on my way home to do the first podcast. I was driving home and I looked over and I was like, no way Subway's open. And I looked over and it was fucking open. And I'm like, that's disgusting. Because, like, you have to go in. Like, you can't drive through the fucking restaurant. So you're going to go in and you're going to be like, I want that and that. I've done it every time in these fucking videos. It's like you're going to touch the fucking glass. One of those assholes. I used to work at Mucho Burrito and people do that. They'd, like, press their finger on the fucking glass. I'm like, can you not touch that shit,
Does that
please?
even make a difference? Do
Like, I
you
gotta
even know
clean it
what
later.
he's pointing at if they do that? I feel like it won't.
No, it's like say it. You know, it's on the fucking menu. It's usually written down above the topping is like what it is. You know what it is. Don't touch the glass. Weirdos. Absolute weirdos.
Yeah, thankfully at Starbucks it's just drive-through right now, and I prefer not to interact with customers, so I only make drinks really. Yeah,
Yeah.
because fucking. Ugh.
I feel like most restaurants or fast food places are just drive-through.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about that McDonald's in Hamilton that got shut down because apparently one worker had like corona or something?
Oh my
No?
god, no, I did not hear that.
Funny.
She said she had Corona, but it was like
And
fake
then it was
or something
fake?
like that.
Yes, and then she got fined like 10K or something. Yes.
I've heard about that. I feel like I basically did that the other day. I had like a coughing fit. I had a coughing fit in the morning, which I feel like was just from like smoking weed at night the night before. And it shut down the whole factory, which I felt really
Wait,
bad
really?
about because like a few people. Oh yeah, we had one coworker that like they went into isolation because like this coworker of mine's roommate's mom had it. Like, it was just such a fractional
Whoa.
risk. And so they stayed home, right? And then everyone was kind of freaking out. We were like washing every surface that this guy could have possibly touched and everything. So like I was a little paranoid already. And then I was like standing at the coiler, like coiling pipe, and I had like a coughing fit. And my one coworker, who was like wearing a mask, he was like one of those mask wearing guys at work with the gloves and shit, and he was like, you're coughing a lot, huh? And I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And he like, yeah, it's weird. And then I went to my boss and I was like, hey, like, I feel fine, by the way. Gonna start with that. I was coughing this morning. And he went like, yeah, go home. We gotta send you home. We gotta clean everything. Go home. And then I stayed home for like a whole week after that, and I've been fine. Like, there was no problems, and I knew it right when it happened. I was like, I don't have coronavirus. I know that for a fact. But I shut down the whole factory. And then I saw that meme, and I was like, am I gonna get fined for like faking it? Like, is that what's gonna happen?
No, I mean, the thing is, the one with the McDonald's in Hamilton was this 18-year-old girl actually faked like a letter. Like, actually forged like a doctor's letter, doctor's note. So it was like kind of official.
Cool.
That's why she got fined a ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
Yeah, because when it got shut down, like there was like a bunch of articles about it. So it really went around like Burlington, Oakville, Hamilton area at least.
Yeah, and it's really not cool because it like freaks other people out. They're like, oh, I went to that McDonald's 3 days ago. You know, it's like pretty cruel to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, some people suck, man.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah, fuck those people. That's our next one.
Yeah. This episode, fuck everybody. How about that?
Yeah. Fuck people that forge doctor's notes.
Yeah.
People outside. Fuck you.
This message brought to you by principals' offices everywhere.
What else? What else is fun?
I feel like we should find an offshoot from, because we had Nick on last time.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty extensive talk about a circumstance with the zombie apocalypse.
Oh my god.
Right? And yeah, we were talking about that, but I mean, like, I don't want to just straight up do that one again. I'm trying to think of like an offshoot.
Just in case a zombie apocalypse happened, I'm just gonna say it right now. I will like instantly kill myself. That is the thing that I don't do. Zombie.
Oh
no.
Oh, you're one of those
don't
cowards.
do that.
Listen,
You're one of those people.
I can play.
Anela, no.
I can play. I can play any shooting game, but if it's like zombies, Call of Duty, or like Left 4 Dead, no thanks.
You're gonna compare this to an RPG?
And but like seeing like zombie movies, I'm like, nope. No.
Really?
Yeah.
You just check out.
Well, so hang on. I guess if we're gonna just kind of use the same scenario, I'll toss you into this, Anela. So we were saying, out of all the Lost Arts guys, including me, so like the four of them plus me, so Drake, Caleb, Nick, Hayden, and me, and then we incorporate you in there. What do you think the order of people dying would be in the zombie apocalypse? Who do you think would make it to the end?
See, I have like a different perspective on this because
you just be the first one because you just stick a gun in your mouth kind of thing.
no, I mean,
We would all meet up and
like
Anela would immediately
like a
kill
total
herself.
coward.
the way that I look at this is like, you know, like in like the media, like TV shows and like movies, it's always like that one black guy dies first or whatever, or like that one Asian guy dies first. But since it's like
Right.
2020, and I think I'm like a minority in like 3 aspects, which is like I'm a female, I'm gay, and I am Asian. Like they
Right.
gotta keep me till the end.
You heard it here
Right.
first, everybody.
You got to basically
I
make
have
it to the
to.
very end. You got to be the
I
one that
have to.
wins. Yeah.
But,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
that-
All right. So assuming that you're the one that makes it to the very end, who do you think is going to die first? And how?
Who's the most?
So think of the Lost Arts guys, including myself, for just for the test group, and assuming you're gonna make it to the very end, and you're gonna be the king of the
I'm
zombies.
definitely gonna make it to the very end, despite how much I don't want to be alive.
Right. With Julia also, we decided that Julia was going to basically just roll up at the very end and she would have no idea that there was even a zombie apocalypse happening.
Caleb, can you give me McDonald's? Well, Hayden's gonna make it to the end.
She'd come home and like toss
Hayden's
her
gonna make
keys.
it to the end.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, we agreed with that.
I have a.
That's what we all
I
agreed
think-
on.
Who dies first?
I think Nick's gonna die first because I remember it was like
Okay.
4/20, 2018. I was just sitting on
Right.
like the couch at the Bave Cave and he's just playing his Switch. And I was like high on shrooms and he was just playing his Switch. And then I just imagined that's what's gonna happen. Zombie's
And you were
gonna
like,
come in
you
and dies.
stupid.
Because he's
can
too busy
confirm.
playing, I don't know, something.
I didn't know that Nick was one of those Nintendo Switch people.
Oh, are you
I feel
serious?
like that's like a whole category.
Oh my
That's
god.
like a whole category of people.
Yeah, man, that's him. Him and Hayden, man.
Hayden's a Switch guy too. Actually, I could have told you that
Yeah.
Hayden's a Switch guy. I bet Hayden's one of those two. Hayden's probably one of those two monitor kind of people. Like they got
Yeah,
two
and a really
screens
nice
up.
gaming
Hayden
mouse.
built his own computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate those people.
He's that
I hate
guy.
that.
Oh, phew.
Hayden's number 3. Fuck Hayden. I don't mean that. I don't mean that.
What
I
did
love
you guys
Hayden.
say was gonna die first?
Okay, so I said
We said
Drake
Yeah, you
would
go
die
first.
Why?
first because here's the thing. Because of Nick's personality, he's got to survive for a bit. So this is how you picture it, right? Is we're all together. Drake is the first one to die because I'm also very anxious, but Drake is a very anxious guy, and so he has to be like that guy that's like freaking out a little bit too much and gets like
Right.
the zombies like snatch him, right? And then
Yeah.
and then Nick goes, okay, and then we get in a situation where basically Craig then has to sacrifice himself for us, and he
Yeah, I had the same where I thought I'd be in the middle as well.
and then Hayden and I are on the precipice of escape. But again, one of us has to make a sacrifice, and I make that sacrifice, and then Hayden, goes off into the sunset.
Yeah, I forget if I had Drake or Nick first. I think it was,
you had Nick
I
first,
think
and
I
then
had-
I made my argument.
I think I had Nick first. I had Nick. Nick as like the dopey, like he'd just kind of like open a door and he'd just be gone. And then, but I said Drake. I said Drake would be the goriest one,
Ooh.
and I'm really sorry about that. But I just picture he would be like Shaun of the Dead, like they would just pull him apart, like just one of those awful on-screen
Yeah,
deaths.
he has like a pink hoodie, and then it's like
Just brutal. So Anela, what would your official zombie death countdown be with the Lost Arts guys? Actually, you know what? Let's make it interesting since we've already kind of covered that. Out of your band, out of Anela and the Early Hours, who do you think would be the first to go, the last to go? How would it happen? Give us your screenplay.
Okay. Oh God. A fun fact. Dylan and I, the drummer in my band, we watch The Walking Dead every Sunday.
I was one of those people as well. With my
Do
mom,
you
I
still
would watch
do?
it with
like,
my
do you
mom.
still watch it? Oh, good
no,
for you.
No, it was after, I forget what season. I don't know what season it was, but it was just so bad that we just completely stopped watching it because it was so bad.
I mean, nothing has changed. It's like slightly better, but
Yeah, I
I don't know.
believe
We're
it.
just hopeful. But yeah, we go to rehearsal on Sundays, go home, go to his house, and we watch The Walking Dead. So I don't know. I hate that I feel like I'm gonna survive the entire thing.
Well, I feel like by the
Hayden
2020
and
archetype,
Alex have to
Yeah.
die.
that makes sense in like a movie. And I mean, we kind of went with the movie kind of style with the last conversation as well, where it was like it wasn't like a real like, oh, which one is more learned with survival? It's more like a
Yeah,
movie
Alex is
scenario.
gonna die first.
You think so?
Oh, that's so mean.
Oh, that's rough.
I'm gonna take his good.
How? What do you think's gonna happen? How do you think it's gonna play out?
He's
What do you
been
think's
saying,
gonna happen? I
okay,
gotta know the
every ti-
nitty-gritty.
For like the last maybe 3 times I've seen him, he's like, "Oh, my knee hurts."
Oh, he's one of those
Yeah.
people where he's like, yeah, just my elbow has been clicking a lot, and I feel like it's like I WebMD'd my symptoms.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be him
yeah, no, I have
first.
corona because my elbow clicks.
Oh my god. Yeah, my elbow totally clicks all the time. Anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be him. It's his knee, and I told him I'll buy him like a little knee brace, but I haven't.
Oh, like the Tiger King, like Joe Exotic.
finished
I
that
haven't
today.
seen it yet. Ha ha.
Gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
I'm like exhausted by explaining it to people and trying to pitch it to people because I feel like everyone should watch it because it's fantastic. I watched it like the morning it came out and I crushed it in an afternoon, and like no one was even posting memes yet. And I thought it was so good, and I was like pitching it to people, like, you gotta watch it. Like even to my mom, I was like, Mom, you gotta watch this. It's so crazy. It's this guy in Oklahoma, and he's got a mullet, and he does meth with all these tigers. And she's like, whoa, slow down.
Eventually.
But anyway, I would highly recommend it. Actually, that's my Netflix recommendation for the show. Tiger King, Joe Exotic. Go watch it. Anyway, so your first
Alex.
death is counted for.
I think. Oh, okay. Here's
Alex
the
is
thing.
gonna go first.
I think Hayden's gonna die next.
Oh.
Only be.
Oh. You
she's
think he's
just
gonna go
killing off the
second
white
out of
guys
the
here,
four?
Craig.
Out of
That's
the
what's
four,
going
right? You got
on.
4 or 5
Okay,
in
listen.
your group.
Okay, maybe because I'm like biased because I just.
You need Dylan around for you.
No. Yeah. Yeah, because him and I are just so close, and sometimes we don't need to talk to each other to know exactly what we're thinking.
Yeah, but you can't let the personal relationships get in the way. This is about
Okay, but
sheer
he's also tall.
survival.
He's
survival
also tall,
of the
and have
fittest.
you seen this guy's biceps? his
Tall
his
doesn't
shoulders?
help in the apocalypse. Lanky, you got those arms sticking out, and they can
I don't
grab
know.
you. You know,
It depends if Hayden's girlfriend has been training him, because I know Hayden's girlfriend's like super into like CrossFit and all that kind of stuff, and I think she's like,
oh, is
yeah,
she super
she's, like,
jacked?
super jacked, but like actually
wow.
really skinny
Good
and like
for
pretty
you,
like
Yeah,
Hayden.
imagine like the opposite
slim.
Nice,
of
buddy.
Hayden. That's kind of
Yeah. So, yeah, if she trains Hayden, then Hayden has more of an outcome to like stay till the end. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so you think it's gonna be Alex, and then Hayden is gonna go first, like a second, or do you think he's gonna go third, and then you're gonna reign supreme?
I'm just gonna rank supreme. I don't care. Yeah,
You're gonna
I
reign
will.
supreme, eh?
I represent 3 minorities. I am important.
Wow.
I am
You know what?
essential.
I do believe it. Anela is Anela from Anela
from
and the Early
Starbucks.
Hours. You know, there's a reason why. And from Starbucks, the essential
Working
worker.
front line.
The name is in there. It's like Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Like, does anyone know who the fucking Crickets are? No, they think of Buddy
Exactly.
Holly. You know, sorry, Early
Yeah, fuck
Hours.
you guys.
Eat your heart out. I love you guys. Love you. That doesn't count as one of my fuck yous in the show. I promise it
Jesus.
doesn't. Because I like the whole group.
The
They're
show is
fine.
gonna. We're gonna finish this phone call, and I'm gonna message Alex and be like, "I am so sorry," and he's gonna be like, "For what?
So,
No reason."
Yeah.
I kinda just
Don't
did a
watch it.
podcast and,
Do not open.
I killed you off like right away, and then don't tell him, and then don't give him
No
any more.
Immediately, you
question.
were dead.
Yeah, no more
Yeah.
context.
Well, no, I think he made it. He made it to like the 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but-
sure, which is pretty good. Like actually, that's a good question too. Is like in the movie, at what point do people start getting killed off in your movie? In the Anela and the
it's
Early
like-
Hours movie.
Well, you'd have to consider is do they have to set up the apocalypse or is it already happening?
Right. I mean, you could also be one of those movies where they're
Yeah.
balls deep already. Like they get in there and as shit is
And you're
just
deep
already
in.
hit the fan. Yeah. Where do you think it's going to start going down in your movie, Anela?
She doesn't.
That'll be my last question
Yeah.
related
Have
to the
you-
zombie apocalypse.
Have
I
you
know
guys
it kind of
seen
freaks
that-
people out
that
sometimes.
zombie movie with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Yeah, how
World
it
War
started
Z.
from like zero, like basically zero.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
100%.
in the alternate universe, I will die in the 2-minute mark.
At the so you're gonna be like you're gonna be the sequel. You're gonna make it to the sequel, but you're gonna be the first one to die in the sequel. I like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, what? Oh, you know what? I changed.
It like leaves That leaves like a feeling of hopelessness in the beginning of the sequel. And I think that's very art. That's very art
that
flick
is
of
so
you,
my brand.
Anela.
Oh my god.
I like art flicks.
There
I'm
you
a
go.
fan of them.
No one's gonna die until maybe. Let's say it's a 90-minute long movie.
Okay, yeah. The average hour and a half movie.
Somebody's got to have to die in like the 30-minute mark. Is that too long?
30-minute. Okay, so Alex is gonna die at the 30-minute mark, is what you're saying.
And then, and I'm like, all three of us just kind of survived the last 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. That is so rough. All right, Alex, get fucked. Get fucked. So 30 minutes in, get fucked. And then another, like, 30 minutes of
Poor
the movie
Alex.
goes by, right? Dude, you know what? Actually, I feel like in your movie, the way you're describing it, he just dies, like, roofing his house.
Yeah,
Like, he just falls off the
His
roof.
knee.
apocalypse.
His knee.
Or like gets
Yeah,
melanoma or some shit, I don't know, and just passes away, and then the
Oh my
apocalypse
God.
happens.
That's so funny.
This poor Alex guy. I don't think I've even actually met Alex. So hi, Alex. I'm Craig. You're
I
gonna
feel
get
so
fucked
guilty
in this whole
because
scenario here.
honestly, Alex is such a sweetheart, and like I once cried in front of him too.
Wow, and now you killed him.
He's the only.
I've cried in front of everyone.
Guy that
I've
seen
cried in
me
front of
cry
Caleb
in the
before.
band. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a puddle of mud when it comes to that. I will fucking cry in front of everybody. I don't care. You don't
Dude,
know
I've
me
never-
unless you've seen
I've
me
never
cry.
cried.
And I gotta. Oh,
Ever,
you've
dude.
never cried in your life.
I came out.
Literally not once. Came out. I actually came out silent. Apparently,
Oh,
I
that's a
came out and was
concern, I
not
think.
crying at all. I was looking
Wow.
around the room.
Pretty sure that's.
My mom said that. She told me that I did not cry when I was born. It was either me or my sister, but I'm gonna say it was me because I'm
Yeah,
cooler than her.
That's true. I've never met
Way
your sister,
cooler
but
than
I
my
can
sister.
confirm.
Hey, Haley. Yeah, I'm way cooler than her.
Do you guys want to talk about the first time you two met? Even though I don't like that story.
The first
You and
time. The
That we
first time.
met.
What? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that we
Yeah.
met.
Craig thinks we've met before, but like,
sure.
No, like.
I thought, yeah, for some reason, I felt like we met at Toboggan during
No.
Juno Week.
Some other Asian girl.
I had made that memory up. No, it was just there were so many musician people there. Like the Ivory Hours guys were there. Texas King was there. The Basic White crew was just walking around, so we were all together. Serena was there. That's where I met Alex Emmerich for the first time. Beautiful man, Alex Emmerich
Yep.
is. Yeah, and I mean, it's just I met so many people that night, and for some reason I made up the memory that I met you there. But I mean, we met each other. Anela and I met at Rum Runners, just like a month ago
And here we are.
at the Sneaker Club show.
Well, I'm pretty sure she was playing too. So
And
it
now
was
we're
also
here,
an
yeah.
Anela show. God.
Yes, it was an Anela show, but I missed you guys,
what a
and
fucking
that's how
guy.
I said, hey, I'm Craig.
What a dick.
I said, hey, I'm Craig. I just missed your set, and I've tried to see you guys a million times. And you were like, hi, Caleb talks about you all the time. And I said, I believe that.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
just
like,
because-
I feel like I know
That's
you
how we
already,
met.
so skip this whole thing. We're gonna be buddies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
and we're
now
gonna
we
skip
are.
the whole
so
thing,
it's,
and we're
it's
gonna
great.
neglect
So it's flourishing.
Caleb.
Yeah, and then
There
they
you
just
go.
started shit talking. Me.
Really sorry, Caleb. Well, I'd like to hear how you guys met, and then we
it's
can
a
talk
really
about how
sweet
Caleb and I
story,
met.
actually.
Oh my god.
Well, the first time we met was at
It
the
was-
Sad Taquito.
No, okay, but no.
Oh,
okay,
no,
it
Sad
wasn't.
Taquito,
No, it wasn't.
R.I.P.,
We met
everybody.
before that.
Yes.
We met at the Head Start for Fanshawe. I forgot.
Yes.
That's where I
we
met
were
Nick, too.
in the same like group or whatever, and for
Yeah.
the only people I remember was you, Riley, and Brooklyn.
Right.
No one else.
Yes.
And I remember, yeah. So that was, we obviously never talked, but remember that time when we were like in a circle and we're like, we have to like introduce ourselves, and you're like, my name's Caleb.
You guys do
Well,
that
it was like a
in
It
Head
was
college?
just
Start
like
thing, so
a-
you could go and like
That
get all
still
your
happens?
shit done.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm wearing a King's University sweater in this video. but I should make the disclaimer that I am so uneducated, just incredibly uneducated. And I think I make sure I say that to anyone that I know is in MIA. I'm like, oh, I didn't go to MIA, as if it's some sort of badge I can
Nice.
proudly
me
wear.
and
But
Anela
anyway,
had a bunch of like
continue.
great moments. We met there, and then we met, I think, officially at the Sad Taquito.
At the taquito.
the
And
first week.
I was drinking a Rickard's Red, and then Caleb looks at me and he's like, Rickard's Red.
Yeah, because I was like getting into drinking good beers at the time. I
Yeah.
was like right on.
I will never
uh,
forget that.
And then there was a time though I was in. We had like our first studio times, and I was just in there. And then Anela came in, and we didn't even I didn't even use the board or anything, and we wrote this like horrible song together. And but then this is how fucking fluky people are. As I was having a tough time making friends, and Anela was just a little social butterfly, and we like wrote this song in a couple hours. And
Oh,
we put
yeah?
this, we did this like webcam video and shared it on Facebook. And then like fucking everybody the next day was like, "Hey man, you're Caleb, right? You did that video with Anela." And then I fucking had friends all of a sudden. Yeah.
Oh,
man.
wow.
She
Anela
did, dude.
made
I've always
you.
admitted that. I've
Like part of the
I've always
mafia
admitted
or
that,
something.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Anela, I probably wouldn't have made any friends.
Oh,
I know.
I know. So
Wow.
now I'm on this thing where I'm like, I have to be something for Caleb.
Yeah, yeah. I check in every day, and I'm like, "Are you doing anything good yet?
Wow.
What's going on?"
And I'm just like,
me
man,
proud.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. And then that one time after the first Tarj show,
Oh,
do you remember
yeah.
that night?
I saw
And then
the
we went to the
beginning of
ADC,
Anela and the
and
Early
that's how
Hours.
my
Oh.
band started.
Yeah. I have so before.
Wow, your band started because
Well,
of a Taj
kinda.
Mahal
we
show.
left. We left and we went back. And Dylan and his friend Andrew, who wasn't in MIA, were just in the ADC because everybody else was getting hammered and they weren't. And then Anela just started like playing songs, and they started playing along, and then that was the beginning.
Right.
So you remember like Snapchat used to only have 10-second video. You couldn't go longer than that. You
Yeah.
remember that back in the day? So I
Right.
have a 10-second video of like the first ever Anela and the Early Hours jam that I will sell for good money one day.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's going to make me a lot of money someday.
That'll be lucrative. Yeah, very lucrative video for
Yeah, I
you.
can't
one day.
wait.
Yeah, for Caleb.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. And then I'll use it to launch my career.
If I haven't launched
That's
your career,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. No, we'll
Oh my
see.
goodness.
Don't worry, maybe.
I remember. Oh, I was gonna say that with meeting
Mm-hmm.
Caleb for the first time, I knew of like I had seen Lost Arts because I went to the Crownlands show that
Yeah.
you guys opened for. And that's a whole funny story in and of itself because I wound up, I was dating someone at the time that I was like, I'll go to the show and then I'll come over to your place and we'll hang out, and my watch had died
watch.
at the show.
Your
Which
wristwatch.
Yeah, so I wasn't like my wristwatch. I use a wristwatch because
That's cool. Yeah,
that's
that's
how I
fine.
roll. Right, but my phone was gonna die, and I said, "Hey, my phone's gonna die. I'll be there at 11 at the latest." Right, and so I was at the show. My phone dies. I'm watching Crownlands. Like I'm midway through the set, and I check my wristwatch, and it says like 9:30. And I was like, "Holy shit! These guys are so far ahead of schedule." Right on. I can stay for the whole show. I can have a beer after, and then I'll go over. So I stayed. Went over to the apartment. I'm trying to buzz, and I'm not getting in, and I'm waiting there forever. And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then I check my wristwatch again, and it says 9:30. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And it turns out my watch had died, and it was like 12:30 already. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm atrociously late, and she's probably asleep." And then I got in there, and she was super pissed off. She was like asleep. I had someone let me into the building that was not supposed to let me in. And she broke up with me
Oh, no,
because I was super
really?
late.
For
I didn't
that
even know
reason?
Yeah, that was actually yeah.
That's so
You didn't need to know that part, but she dumped me because I was. Yeah, she didn't believe me. She thought I was off fucking around or whatever. And I was like, dude, I was like, my phone died and then my wristwatch died. And actually, I left my watch at her place. So, hey, Bree, if I could get my watch back.
Well, you know what?
I would really love my watch
gonna
back.
see
But anyway,
this, yeah.
so that was the first time I saw Lost Arts. That was the first time I saw Lost Arts. She probably won't watch this. I feel like she doesn't watch. She doesn't fuck with anything I put out anymore. But that was the first time I saw Lost Arts. But then I was watching the podcasts.
Nice.
I forget which
Thanks,
one
man.
it was that I watched first. It might have been Riley from
Good
Basic
episode.
White.
Episode 21, everybody.
Yeah, and by the way, watch We Should Jam sometime because I feel
I
like
think
this is
it
not
is.
going to
I
be
think
on
it's-
the
I
same
think that's what
channel.
I'm gonna
So
do. I
that's a
made the
fantastic
decision.
podcast.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you tell?
Okay,
did you
right
tell
on. Well,
Craig
thanks
why
for
it's
watching.
called We Should Jam sometime?
Oh.
'Cause it's a
yeah,
hilarious
but, I mean,
title.
it was because
Everyone says it. Everyone says it, and it never happens.
Everybody that's a musician says it, but it was just like before anybody made friends in MIA, like that was the fucking like goodbye. Yeah,
That was the
and then
thing.
Anela
Yeah,
and I
we should
would say it
jam,
to each other
man,
all
for
the time.
sure.
And then when
And we
Anela and I
did
did the first
jam.
episode,
Nice.
and she was like, "What are you gonna call this?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like maybe I'll just call it We Should Jam sometime." And then we laughed, and then I had to put the episode out, and I was like, "Ah, fuck it, I'll call it that." And then yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Because I mean, I'm with the non-MIA circle, right? And then I was telling people like, oh, I did this podcast, this interview with this guy Caleb in MIA. It's called We Should Jam Sometime, and no one believed. They were like, "That's the name of the podcast," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's genius!" Like everyone loved
It's
that
so
title.
funny.
Oh, it's so great. So I knew about the podcast already, and then I went to I attended Share the Land because I was dating
Which
someone
one?
that was in MIA that year.
The year after us,
It was
yeah,
2
the
years ago.
Oh, the
Yeah.
I'm
year
not gonna
after
say who.
us?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say who it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
It was.
I
yeah.
believe
Oh,
so.
so you missed ours.
I did miss yours. I only went because I was dating someone that was playing.
Now I want to know.
And so I went.
Well, yeah, we'll tell you
That'll
when
be an
we're done
off screen. That'll be an
recording, yeah.
off screen. But so I went. Yeah. So I went to Share the Land, and then I hopped the gate to go upstairs where I guess all the students were just hanging out because she was up there, and I wanted to say, "Hey, great set.
Can I
See
use
you
your
later."
amp?
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I was like, I don't want to stay and watch all these other fucking bands, so I'm gonna leave. And that's actually where I met Adversus for the first time too. I went up to them and I was like, hey, that was a fantastic Celine Dion cover you did. And they were like, you knew what we did? And I was like, of course, I could hear the words. I've listened
Yeah.
to hardcore music before. You fucking crazy. But then I was walking over to my girlfriend, and I saw Caleb for the first time in person, and I think he said, "How's it going, man?" And I said, "Not much," because I was just so I was so determined to just get over there, say bye, and get the fuck out of there. And then on my way back, I went up and I went, "I'm doing really well. I'm so sorry that I just completely gave the wrong response to you." And I said, "I love the podcast."
It was the
I
Junko
saw the
Daydream one,
Junko
yeah.
Daydream
Yeah.
interview. That's what it was. Because I said, I love the podcast. I watched the Junko Daydream one, and Scott was right. Jeff loves Skid Row and 80s music. Because half of Junko Daydream were in Radio Caroline. So I was like, yeah, like that podcast is totally right. We should hang out sometime. And I think I said we should
What
jam
a
sometime or
loser.
some shit like that. And then well, as a joke, right? And then I forget who sent the message first, but then we organized
Yeah,
the podcast, and then the podcast was actually you're watching the
actually
first
hung
time that
out,
we
yeah.
ever actually hung out and actually talked.
I think I was like, oh, I should probably get Craig on, and then I had like shared the Basic White album, and I think you like heart reacted it, and then I was just like, hey man, do you want to do the podcast?
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, sure. We actually met.
Yeah, and I was
we
like, fuck yeah, I'm
technically
super
met
down.
before that,
And
but
it was
Riley
funny 'cause-
was hammered and like
Yes.
fucked up. So like I think you guys had played Rum Runners, and I went up and I was like, I gotta fucking like, because I think you and I had kept like seeing each other at stuff.
Oh yeah, you were wearing the
and I went
Crownlands
up,
shirt,
and we were like,
and,
we shook hands,
and
and you were like, "Hey man, it's so good to finally say hi." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And then Riley just drunkenly
Yeah.
like steps in front of you, and it's like, "Caleb, man, fucking." I was like, "All right, well, cool." Yeah,
that would happen all the time because I mean, and I would embrace this attitude all the time where it's like I'm just the fucking bass player. So when that would happen, I would just be like, right
Yeah.
on. I got to say, hey, that's
Yeah.
my mysterious hello for the night, and then I'll go get
For
another
sure.
beer. So, but yeah, Yeah, that's funny. I completely forgot that was at the that was the first time I ever played with Basic White. Was
Yes,
the
that's what
Lost
it
in
was.
Japan
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
That was the one where we
But,
met.
Yeah, fun. That's funny, man.
Wow, what a love
Funny how stuff
story.
works. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and we've been
it's
buds
weird how
ever
that stuff
since.
works out.
And now we do a podcast together.
It's so weird.
And I think it's really funny too. I think this has been it's been really fun.
Yeah, this
to
is
do
like I
these.
feel like a radio host now.
Yeah, look at us. You guys are like
Yeah, 100%,
calling me.
100%.
You guys have like guests on.
We've done.
Thank
This
you
is
for
the third
having
episode.
me.
We
Yeah,
haven't
we've
put
got
any out yet.
cameras and interfaces. I've got a recording
Yeah.
software
Wow,
now. Look at me
nice.
go.
We're gonna be.
Look at us.
We're gonna be
Who'd have thought we'd get here, huh? Not me.
Funny
Okay,
how
I feel-
life is.
I feel like we should do our closing things because we're like over an hour here. So
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. So Anela, what is your Netflix recommendation and
Yeah.
what is your album recommendation
oh my
for the
God.
show?
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
No,
We're
I
gonna put
already
you on the
know.
spot here.
Okay,
Okay.
Netflix recommendation is Sex Education. The second season just came out. Oh, so freaking funny.
Fantastic.
So freaking
Fantastic.
funny. Oh, great.
I've only seen the first season. And I started watching the second, and I was watching the recap on the second season. I was like, oh my God, I must have fallen asleep during so many episodes because there's so much
It's
shit that I
fine.
do
It's
not
fine.
recall happening.
But
Yeah, you can kind
yeah,
of tune
but
in whenever
just,
you
yeah,
want.
no, start watching a second season in the first 10 minutes. I want you to message me when you start watching it, like the first 10 minutes.
My sister said the same thing about
Oh,
Schitt's
yeah.
Creek. She was like, "You got to watch Schitt's Creek, and as soon as you start watching
Yes.
it, you got to send me a
No.
message." And I was like, "Why?" When I watch Netflix shit, I am usually shameful, like in just wearing pajama pants in bed, and I'm like, I don't want to
It's
interact
fine.
with anyone.
It's fine, but yeah, when you watch the first 10 minutes,
Okay,
like let
I'll
me
do
know.
it though.
Recommendation for album. Dua Lipa's new album slaps.
Yes, album recommendation.
Oh, slaps. Slaps.
no, it's
like
Slash?
No.
I was gonna say you're recommending
no,
a fucking
no,
Slash
Dua
album.
Lipa.
That's
Dua Lipa's
amazing.
new album.
Because I think. Oh,
Yeah.
Dua Lipa. Okay, I was gonna say. By the way, Slash's albums do fuck. That's not my recommendation for the show, but
Yeah,
they are very
That's
good.
so funny.
Yeah,
But
she
Dua
released
Lipa,
her new
yes.
album last Friday, and it's so. It just hits you. It just hits, and
Nice.
if you're like one of
Okay.
those people that like, oh, I hate pop music, like, yeah,
I'm so not that person. I will listen to top 40 religiously because I want to know what people are listening to, and I love
this
that
one
shit
for
so
sure.
much.
You have to check it out, front to back.
Okay.
All right.
Caleb, what's your Netflix? What's your
My
album?
Netflix one is no good. I mean, we were talking about fucking Tiger King, so I won't.
I
do
know we
that.
got to come up with fresh ones day to
I'm gonna
day
say
now.
I've been. I started rewatching Better Call Saul before I dumped into the fourth season, so I'll recommend that if you've never watched
Better
it.
Call Saul is fantastic.
So that's what I'll recommend.
So
My
good.
album, I'm gonna go deep here, and I'm gonna say the very first Frank Turner album. If you're a
Who?
Frank Turner fan at all,
Oh,
yeah, man.
Frank Turner.
But do the first
Wow.
album. Do the first
Wow.
album. I mean, like pretty much
Nice.
everything before like
Nice.
Positive Songs for Negative People is like all those albums rip. But like the first one's good, man. It's got some fucking sad songs on it. It's like pretty raw because he was just like some fucking folk punk guy, and so it's like pretty raw.
Right.
If you're like into like really like perfect sounding albums, you're probably not gonna like it. But if you're in for just a fucking like, it's got a lot of solid songs on it. And to think, I mean, like what he's been putting out recently, I'm not into. But yeah, the first one's called "Sleep Is for the Weak," and that's what I recommend. Listen to that.
nice.
Okay. Cool. My Netflix recommendation I already put out there. What did I say?
Tiger
I
King.
forget what it
you
was.
said screw it.
Yeah.
Tiger King,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. And you know what? I feel like if I lived in the United States, like in 5 years from now, I would be Joe Exotic, but not being gay and sleeping with straight men. I would be sleeping with very gay men.
Nice.
And I'd probably only have like one tiger, and I'd be very nice to him, and I wouldn't feed him Walmart meat. But yeah, I feel like I'm as trailer trash as you can be without owning a trailer already. So I love.
And I mean, you got the
love that
tattoos
series.
for it too.
And I do. I have very trailer trash tattoos. I'm gonna get a lot more. I'm gonna get a little devil on my shoulder,
my
like the baby
God.
devil thing. And I'm gonna wear wife beaters. And I already have a reverse tramp stamp.
Nice.
That's for
Oh.
next episode, though.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll see it. You'll see it on the next one. But my album recommendation, I'm not gonna give you a new album. I'm gonna give everyone an old one because I finally. So on the last episode, I was talking about how I was listening to this one song on repeat for like an entire day, which I do that all the time. I'll listen to one song all day long. And it was Leo Sayer, I Love You More Than I Can Say. I love that song so much. And it's like an 80s song. But I found out today, I was Googling it, it was written by the Crickets, like Buddy Holly's backing band. And then Leo Sayer covered it later. So what I'm going to recommend is that everyone go out and listen to, you can listen to just a greatest hits album, I don't care, but Buddy Holly. Everyone needs to listen to Buddy Holly in their lifetime. Because he is just the greatest pop rock and roll musician of all time. The greatest.
Okay.
Buddy Holly, everybody. Buddy Holly, you gotta listen to him. I'm a huge Elvis guy. I started out listening to Johnny Cash. I'm like that oldies guy. I love oldies to death, and Buddy Holly is one that you cannot sleep on. You gotta listen to him.
Deal.
You sold it to me.
Deal.
Sold.
Yeah, Buddy Holly, so great. Okay, well, I mean, we covered lots of topics, y'all. We covered zombie apocalypse again.
Corona.
You know, we got
Starbucks.
Corona. We got Starbucks. Yeah.
Hashtag make
100%.
your coffee at home.
So I mean, like we
Make your
Hashtag
coffee
make
at
your
home.
coffee at home. Take
and
a
make
photo
your coffee
and
at
tag
home.
me.
Hashtag make
Tag
your coffee at
Anela.
home. Yeah. Tag Anela. Anela,
Anela
what's your
Navarro, it's
Instagram
great.
handle?
Anela Navarro. Go
Yeah,
listen
just
to
my
Anela in
first
the
name,
early
last name.
hours.
Perfect.
There's lots of content out there. Go listen to Heart
Yeah,
Attack
100%.
Kids. Go listen to
Wash your
Lost
hands.
Arts.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands lots of times.
Tell your friends.
And we're hoping we can get the guys from
Yeah,
Dime
Cam
next
is
time.
down.
That's
Cam is down to
the
do it.
goal.
Cameron.
Cam's in. Okay. I really want to get Carl because I love that guy. He's like one of the best bassists in town. He's so
He
great.
is.
He's the dude.
I've got a big old man crush on
Oh.
Carl.
You said that
I'll
about
admit it.
adorable.
Hayden.
Yeah, it's anybody that plays
I
bass.
do. Well, yeah, but Hayden and I have
That's
kissed
true.
before, so I mean,
That's
like,
true.
like that's just.
I saw it
Yeah, I made him do
in my
it.
kitchen.
I was like, don't be
Yeah.
gay, just kiss
No
me, bro.
homo. We're
Yeah.
6 feet apart because we're not gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much homo. 100%. Homo intended.
All right. We'll stop recording, I guess, and then say goodbye to Anela.
Okay.
So bye,
Okay,
people.
Okay, well, we'll sign off,
Thank
everybody.
you
Thanks so much for
having
watching.
me.
See you next time.
Okay. Hi.
Awesome. That was great.